Alright, hello guys and welcome back to Minecraft. I still don't know what exactly I'm going to call this series, but as I said, I am currently in creative mode. Not much time has passed, so the weeds are still growing. Well, the wheat, not the weeds. And I'm just going to fly around this spawn area. This is a jungle island, kind of, which I think this is a really cool seed. Frame rates might be dropping because he's generating new terrain, so you will, I don't know, have to deal with slightly lower frame rates at times. Like that. New terrain being generated. So for example, we have that cool little island over there, just a little really small jungle biome, but this is actually a jungle biome. If I bring up F3, we have a tiny jungle. Which means nice grass and jungle tree, of course. And over there is a different island. The coast, or rather the mainland, whatever you want to call it, is not very far, so it's not too difficult to get into a different kind of biome, basically. And I guess we can continue our flyover. As I said, eventually, probably, maybe I'll be working to remove all this jungle. We'll see about that. Nice little cut-off section here where just this line of sand goes all the way through, so secluded bit of jungle here. Maybe I'll actually keep some of that or replant some of it in a different way. Some nice, rather jagged terrain here. But it looks pretty cool. Nice terrain generation. Obviously floating sand here, so gonna have to deal with that at some point. As far as I can tell, there aren't very many animals though, so we have a few chicken here. Haven't seen any others yet. Might have to spawn some in. Because this is not a proper LP, I don't mind switching to creative from time to time. So yeah, don't expect like the same sort of rules that I was playing with by. What the? This is strange. I think this is a chunk where from a certain height up all jungle has been removed. Don't ask me why though, like this is definitely not how a natural jungle tree is meant to look. But I haven't world edited this or anything. You've seen pretty much everything I did since the world was generated, so. And it's not, doesn't seem to be a chunk loading error, because well, bits of the chunk are there, it's just gone from this point up. Strange. First it looked like fire damage, but that's not fire damage. There's nothing here that could have caused the fire anyway. Nice little shallow bay. Another little outcrop island. Again, proper jungle biome, meaning proper jungle grass. And this is not natural either, but I haven't switched versions or anything. Maybe this... Nah, this is actually just a fairly steep cutoff. Doesn't look good, but I think that might be natural. I don't know. Feel free to check if the world generator has been doing things wrong for me. And here again, that's just a bit of jungle tree missing. And there's a sheep, that's something at least. I would need a second one though to actually get some wool. And here again, nice little shallow. Oh, and there's lots of sheep, so that's good. Nice shallow bay areas. That's quite cool. I think there's a cave there. Yeah. Oh, it's a ravine even. Nice. And even more sheep, so if I want sheep I don't have to spawn those in. There's even a brown one. Those used to be really rare, but I think they're quite common these days. Like the pink ones are even rarer. And I think they still are, but the brown ones have become quite common, I believe. Okay, so we're continuing here. And this is a proper island, by the way. This looks like a fjord. Like it's not connected to the mainland in any place, which we'll eventually see. And this jungle terrain generation is really broken somehow. Look at this. And as I said, I've not done anything to this world. This is as it's been generated. So definitely some glitches. And I am running, as you can see, 1.7.4, so maybe the issues stem from that. And there's a cow here as well. Question is there more than one? Yes, there's at least 2 cows, so no need to spawn those in. And pigs are kind of irrelevant. Once you have cows, the pigs are slightly unimportant. Okay, so I have sheep, I have cows, I have chicken. That's really all the livestock I need, and I can obviously use wheat too. Yeah, brown sheep aren't there at all anymore. And we can use the wheat to make more of those. To breed them, that's the word I was looking for. Again, nice little area here. Light glitches, but those tend to go away when you get closer. Hello, there we go. Light glitch gone. Those have been around for ages, so that's fine. Again, cut off a little bit of forest. And yeah, the jungle leaves and all that are slightly bad for the frame rate, but I've seen worse. It seems to be a lot better than it used to be. Like mostly it's dropping frames when I'm moving really fast, and even that seems fine. Still don't have Optifine as far as the last time I checked, so by the time you see this I might have been Optifine out. I don't know. And that music cut off really abruptly as well. Anyway, I'm just following the coastline here. There is a jungle temple somewhere here, and I know that and we're home, by the way. With more dodgy forest generation here. And by home I mean back at my nice little, and again, back at my nice little farm, my initial area, all that kind of stuff. So let's go back to survival. And I'm guessing what I should probably do first is either dig down as a mine or dig down in a cave. And I think the cave we found was rather far off, so I suspect mining is gonna have to be the way of it. Ouch. Not that it matters, I'm in peaceful still. So let me see if I can find a cave entrance here. This is some of that jagged terrain we saw, by the way. Which, as I said, it looks quite nice. Floating sand is slightly annoying, but fine. And aside from that, it looks quite interesting. One of the reasons I really liked the seed was how the just how the environment close to spawn looks like. And well, we choose it for the server because we wanted a jungle spawn for the nice grass color, and we had other criteria as well, and this one seemed to fit really well, so yeah. And I'm just using it for single player now, as I said. So I think it's gonna have to be a mine kind of thing. Which means I'll do my usual digging down thing. Let me see. I don't really like dirt pockets, but yeah, this'll be fine. let's make this a 7 by 7 room with a 3 high ceiling. There's no particular reason I'm doing this, just, I don't know, for some reason it's what I've done ever since I started playing on servers. It's like my first thing, and it's kind of caught on for single player as well. It's not an efficient way at all to get down to like the interesting levels where the interesting stuff can spawn. It's just what I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And because I'm in peaceful mode, I don't particularly need to pay attention to light levels or like spawn-proof environments and all that. Eventually, as I said, I'll be switching to higher difficulties, so I will need to care. But just for now, it's all good. And I want to make a double chest. And I'm guessing I'll need 3 more picks and 1 more shovel. Oh well, might as well. Do it like that then, and a few more shovels, and that'll be fine. And put down the double chest right here. I still haven't got a bed, obviously, haven't found any sheep. Well, I found some, but I haven't done anything to them. So all of this is probably things I don't need right now. Yeah, that'll be fine. And I'm not saying I need the hoe, I just have it. And 2 more in. And then this way finally. And as I said, I want to talk about maybe some slightly thought-provoking issues in this series, so here goes. One of the things I read recently was a Harry Potter fanfiction. If I remember, I will link it in the description. I'm usually not a big fan of fanfiction because, I don't know, it tends to be written by, let's say, younger members of our race, species, and those tend to not be very good writers, so while it is true that there's probably a book inside each and every one of us, in most cases they should stay there. Point being, lots of fanfictions are written really badly, and I don't usually like them. This one, though, is quite well written, and it has some interesting points it addresses. So one of the things was that one of the characters at least said that whoever the scientists were who invented nuclear fission, who made it possible to build the atomic bombs, they should have kept quiet about it, basically. And in a way, that's an interesting point, because it has to be said that if those people had kept quiet, a lot of fairly bad things would not have happened. So, mostly Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but a lot of the Cold War would not have been quite as, I don't know. A lot of the Cold War would have been very different without nuclear weapons. That's not necessarily to say it would have been better, because at least in my view of the historical events, one of the main reasons that there never really was an outright war between Russia and America was the fact that both of them had very quickly developed easily enough weaponry to obliterate both sides in a matter of hours. So yeah, the Russians had a nuclear arsenal which was, even though it was smaller by far than the American arsenal, both of them had easily enough firepower to blow this entire planet to Kingdom Come and leave no one left alive. So in a way, that's a very powerful incentive not to start fighting. There was a song by Sting, which, while being obviously a result of the politics at the time, it's basically saying, I hope the Russians love their children too, so if they have any sense at all, they won't fire off their nuclear weapons, and if we have any sense at all, we won't fire off ours. I'm German, so obviously when I say ours, I mean the American nuclear weapons. The Germans at the time obviously didn't have any. And I put too much charcoal in. Yeah, I did. I was slightly not thinking straight when I did it, so yeah. But anyway, even aside from the Cold War point, it slightly got me thinking whether certain scientific research should be done or shouldn't be done. Mostly research into weaponry, or research that could potentially lead to weaponry. Because the scientists who worked on the foundations for the atomic bombs and the fission bombs and later even the fusion bombs, the theory of it was not necessarily devised entirely to build nuclear weapons. I think Einstein was the first, or at least he's one of the more popular, more famous ones who came up with the theoretical foundation for building a nuclear bomb. But of course, hypothetically, such research would and did also have applications that aren't weapon related at all. So especially in the case of nuclear fission, that has been used in nuclear reactors for, in a way, a very I'm going to get hate for this, but in a very environmentally friendly kind of energy production in some ways. Like, the nuclear waste disposal is obviously a huge issue because there really isn't a way to properly get rid of it. And you can argue that all the minerals that are in that nuclear waste would have been in the environment anyway, because the uranium is mined in certain places, it's then enriched, so it's not artificially produced, and it then decays in the reactor. It undergoes fission and becomes different elements which are different, but those fission reactions, they have occasionally happened in nature as well, and uranium itself is radioactive, so obviously even in nature it would be decaying, albeit at a different rate, but in different locations and not as highly concentrated, because I believe the relevant isotope that is used in nuclear reactors is actually quite rare in the normal environment, and I don't quite remember where I put my torches, so I'm going to go with this, just underneath those, and then I think I will probably need one more, but I'll get to that in a bit. So to work in a nuclear reactor, you have to enrich the naturally found uranium to have a higher percentage of that particular isotope, so that the fission reaction is actually self-sufficient, self-sustaining. And that does leave behind, I think plutonium is the major one. It basically leaves behind different radioactive elements which have a very high half-life, meaning it takes a very long time at relatively low amounts of radiation for these elements to decay into things that aren't radioactive anymore. And we do know that radioactive materials are very dangerous, because they can damage DNA, they can cause severe health problems, and one of the main reasons why it's considered such a bad thing is because you can't see it. It's somewhere in the air. There's constant dosages of radiation which are just naturally occurring anyway, but you just can't see them. So for example, if a coal plant, as in a power generator which burns coal to create energy, not the plant as in things you put in pots and on your windowsills. If that blows up, you see a big fire, you see a big explosion, you see people burning and probably dying, but it's very visible, so it doesn't feel like such a threat, because mankind fears what it can't see. If a nuclear power station gives off radiation, you can see it. You can tell with the Geiger counter, but that's about it. And a lot of the damage is very long term, so again, the coal factory blows up. Those who are damaged by it, they are damaged instantly. Like the moment it blows up, they are set on fire and torn to pieces. Whereas with radiation damage, the damage can take years. Low dosage increases will only basically be causing increases in cancer risk, and genetic damage that might be irrelevant in the first generation, but that will be incredibly problematic for the children, for example. I think everyone has seen pictures of children born in Hiroshima or around there after the bombs went off. And that's one of the reasons why nuclear weapons are so incredibly bad. By itself, the nuclear fission reaction inside a nuclear bomb, that's meant, like, the reason that is used is simply because it produces massive amounts of energy from fairly small amounts of material, and it's just a massive explosion. One here, right? Yeah. Perfect. So the point I was really trying to get to is whether science should stop certain kinds of research. If a scientist sees that his research might have fairly terrible applications in weapons technology, should he stop? And keep in mind, I would be saying that weapons research just for itself is a bad thing, but the nuclear research, for example, it wasn't really intended as weapons research necessarily. It was intended as just research to get a source of energy. So I guess let me know in the comments if you have an opinion about this. Should certain kinds of research be stopped? Not for political reasons, not for ideological reasons, like I think stem cell research is bad because it's it's research on human life, stuff like that. That's not the point I'm making. Should scientists, for example, be trying to build stronger explosives? Or rather, should they be trying to, for example, work out cold fusion? Which by itself would be a great source of energy, but could potentially also be rather useful in nuclear weapons. Should they be researching, for example, different kinds of toxin? Should they be trying to find better ways to kill humans? Said that negatively, the answer should obviously be no, but should research be stopped when it seems likely that there might be weapon applications? So yeah, if this isn't a topic that you have an opinion on, feel free to comment down below. I'm recording the first 3 episodes in a single go, so I will not be able to respond in video that quickly, but I will always respond to written comments with my own written comments, assuming YouTube doesn't screw me over again and say I can't post replies, which sadly still happens from time to time. But yeah, in general, I will be replying, obviously. So let me know, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.